All right, y'all. So do a quick class real quick. Try to make it quick. Can you, Lyle, can you pull that up? The two sides. The class is called Two Sides of the Same Coin. Rela, can you read that from the screen?
Two sides of the same coin has a different meaning. Two things seem different or opposed, but both are the same actually.
Read it again.
Two things seem different or opposed, but both are the same actually.
All right, that's it. So this class is specifically about, as we know today, as Hispanics and Native Indians.
Bring it out.
Two sides of the same coin, all right? Because a lot of us don't believe that the Hispanics and Native Indians are Israelites.
Those Christians believe that's all we teach, that African Americans.
And I'm glad Cap brought it out. Well, what they say? Black Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
Just totally forgetting our other side of the coin. Northern Kingdom, the Hispanics and Native Americans. So we're going to prove today that they are in fact Israelites. By no shadow of a doubt.
No shadow of a doubt. History books, the Bible, everything.
We're going to bring it out. We're going to actually go in the Bible and prove it. Get Proverbs 1-7.
You mean you don't have a tablet?
No. We don't read from tablets, bro. Right. Seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. Proverbs 1-7.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 7.
Come on.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge,
Uh-huh.
but fools despise wisdom.
So in order to get the knowledge of God, we got to fear God. We got to fear God. A lot of times people that say the Hispanics ain't Israelites, Native Americans not Israelites, a lot of times, man, they be in some type of sin. Tell you that right now. They be in some sin. They don't fear God. In order to get that true understanding, you got to fear God. Sirach 1:14. Sirach 1:14.
The book of Sirach.
Hey, who's Northern Kingdom in here, brothers? Raise your hand, Northern Kingdom. Raise your hand, brothers. Northern Kingdom, raise your hand. Sisters too, right? Sisters, raise your hand. Sisters, who's Northern Kingdom in here? Okay, all praises. All praises. Well, huh? Yeah, we getting there. We getting there.
Y'all brothers do know that we ain't getting out of here without Northern Kingdom, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That makes up the
A
majority.
lot of people don't
of the
understand.
tribes.
It's more tribes in Northern Kingdom than Southern Kingdom. It's more tribes.
Just saying.
So, I mean, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work. Read that.
Sirach, chapter 1, verse 14. To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb.
So, again, the fear of the Lord is the beginning. That's how you get wisdom. We're going to skip through these real quick. Psalms 1:10. We all know this one. How do we get wisdom? How do we get wisdom? Psalms 1:10.
Psalms, chapter 111, verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Come on.
A good understanding.
Good understanding of the Bible. Good understanding of who you are. The breakdown of the tribes, that takes a good understanding. Read on.
Have all day that do his commandments.
To understand the other side of the coin, you must desire wisdom and understanding. You must desire it. Proverbs 3:30. Oh, go ahead, Cap.
I'm glad you started out with these because a lot of our people that are famous or they got a lot of notoriety, they always talking about the Bible. They always, it's not this, it's not that. But the one reason they do not understand it is for what? They don't fear God and they won't discipline themselves to keep the commandments. Therefore, God says the most important book in the world, I won't even let you know what it's talking about. And that frustrates them. So instead of humbling themselves down and doing what it say, I totally reject everything in it. It's not real. It's the white man's book. It's made up. It's got contradictions. But all you have to do is discipline yourself and fear God. He'll give you the understanding of the mysteries.
Proverbs 3:13.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 13. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding.
Happy is the man that findeth wisdom. Why would we be happy, brothers? Who can stand up and answer that? Why would finding wisdom make you happy? A lot of us happy to buy a new car, happy to get a good job. God says you happy if you find wisdom. Right here, Hosea. Right here. Stand up, brother. Make sure y'all speak your name too. James. Shalom, bro. Yeah, it's on. You got to speak up.
Happy when you say happy to find wisdom is happy that we have the right now that we can come back to our Father.
All praises. That's a good answer. We happy. We can break down the prophecies. We can break down who we are. Do you understand that just being able to break down your nationality in the Bible, that right there stumps everybody. Let me tell you right now. Sisters too. Brothers, just us to be able to say, yeah, I'm in there. And I can prove I'm in there. Can't nobody refute that. Can't nobody come against you.
You know how heavy that is, because a lot of times when you say, because a lot of people say, I know the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
but then when you throw the words behind it, I can prove it to you.
Right, there you go.
Oh, I didn't know you was gonna take it there.
You know what they say?
I didn't know you was gonna take it there.
I wasn't prepared for this.
I wasn't prepared for this. I didn't bring my Bible on me. Oh, well, I got it on my phone. I ain't got time now.
Right. I gotta go. And we encounter that all the time. People say they know the Bible. We say, okay, well, what does this scripture mean? I wasn't prepared for this right now. They always say that.
Or even when you ask them, can you show me your nationality in the Bible? And they look at you like, well, I'm a child of God.
Yeah.
Right. I'm a child of God. Okay, well.
Which one?
Like Cap always say, children of God got names. Right, God's kid got a name. What name are you? Which one are you? They look at you with that stink face, that dookie face. Go to Rock 30:91. So it says, happy is the man that findeth wisdom. Sirach 30:91.
Sirach, chapter 39, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High,
Uh-huh.
and is occupied in the meditation thereof,
Read on.
will seek out the
We're
wisdom.
doing what?
Will seek out the
Y'all
wisdom.
understand, all of that is the same. He that giveth his mind to the law is seeking out wisdom, and is occupied in the meditation thereof is giving his mind to the law. It all sums up to seeking out wisdom. Keeping the commandments of the Lord is seeking out wisdom. Read on.
Will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient,
Okay.
and be occupied in prophecies.
Read on.
He will keep the sayings of the renowned men,
Uh-huh.
and where sup the parables are, he will be there also.
Read that part again.
He will keep the sayings of the renowned men,
Come on.
and where subtle parables are,
The things that are hard to understand, read.
he will be there also.
Read on.
He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences.
Read that again.
He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences.
And that's what we did. We want to know the secrets. Like, I'll give you an example. We're going to read Daniel 9 and 12. Let me give you an example. Read Daniel 9 and 12. God says that he that giveth his mind to the law will seek out the secrets of grave sentences and be conversed in dark parables. Watch this. Daniel 9 and 12. Read that.
Daniel chapter 9 verse 12. And he have confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil.
A great evil, read.
For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem.
What does that mean, brothers? That's a great, I'm going to tell you, that's a grave sentence right there. What does it mean? Under the whole heaven has not been done. The brother next to Abel. Under the whole heaven, John, sorry, has not been done that has been done to the children of Israel. What that mean?
Shalom, brother.
Shalom, bro.
We're talking about slavery.
On slave ships.
Right. So what happened to the Israelites? Is any other nation going to go through that?
No.
So you gotta. So wait a minute. It says he will seek out the secrets. What would be the secret of ain't no other nation gonna go through what the Israelites go through? I want you to think. What would be a grave, or what it say? Will seek out the secrets. What would be the secret in that?
I wouldn't know.
Hmm?
I don't know.
All right, somebody else give it a try, right? Huh? Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. All praise together. Just seek out wisdom, bro. You're going to get it. Go ahead.
Shalom leadership.
Shalom, bro.
Brother Aaron. That they will not know that they're the Israelites.
Okay. Yep, that's true. That's true. But I want. All right, go ahead, brother. Right here. You're not wrong, but I'm looking for something else. Isaac? Yeah. Okay, what is it, bro?
That we are the people of the book.
Okay, how? How do you know?
Deuteronomy chapter 20.
Wait a minute. Nah, man, you went somewhere. Don't go nowhere. Moses, give it to us. Bring us home. Read the scripture for him again, Officer Rely.
Yes, sir. Daniel chapter 9, verse 12.
Come on.
And he have confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges.
Remember,
that
the top of the class is two sides of the same coin. We claiming that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are Israelites. What would be the secret that's being revealed in Daniel 9 and 12?
I'd say Matthew chapter 15, verse 2.
No. One more. Esdras. I need you to bring us home, brother. Bring us home. Just stay right there.
The curses,
Okay, explain.
what been happened to us, the suffering, and
The curses does what?
the great evil that been putting us upon us,
Tells us what?
that we are the Israelites.
Thank you. That only the Israelites would go through the atrocities that God prophesied about in the Bible.
So what you're saying is if you're not actually disciplining yourself with keeping the commandments,
You won't understand that.
you won't. The book is sealed.
It's sealed. You won't understand that. Go back to Sirach 39. You will not understand that. If you don't give your mind totally, what it say? But he that giveth his mind to the law and the Most High is occupied in the meditation thereof, you will not understand that. You will look at Hosea from the tribe of Ephraim and say, that's a white man. Straight up. That's because they don't have that understanding. They don't have that wisdom. Read on, Rely.
Sirach chapter 39, verse 3. He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences.
Come on.
And be conversant in dark parables.
Uh-huh.
He shall serve among great men.
Uh-huh.
And appear before princes.
Go to James 1 and 5.
I bet you they tablets don't say that.
Hey, and I like it. You brought that out. You use Hosea as an example because Hosea mess around and be more of Israel than the darkest of dark
Right.
Negroes that claim he ain't. Lord, you get there, you be like, I'm burnt like Christ.
real.
I'm ready to enter the.
Yep.
Whoa!
Wait a
Stop!
minute.
You are ham. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Light skinned brother right there, Hosea. Let's go. You tribe of Ephraim. Let's go. Walk in, my son.
Hey, real talk, though. Real talk. Read that. Bro. Read that.
James chapter 1, verse
You are the
5.
weakest link. Goodbye. Read that, bro.
If any of you lack wisdom,
Come on.
let him ask of God,
Uh-huh.
that giveth to all men liberally.
Now, we read this scripture, right? And a lot of us think that we can just pray and ask for wisdom and do nothing. That ain't what it's saying right there. It's steps. It's steps you got to take. When you ask God for wisdom, he also gives you the steps to get wisdom. You understand? Read it again.
James chapter 1, verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God,
Uh-huh.
that giveth to all men liberally,
Read on.
and upbraideth not,
Uh-huh.
and it shall be given him. But let him
That's
ask.
it. That's it. Give me Hosea 1 and 10.
Hosea chapter 1, verse 10.
Hosea 1 and 10. Come on.
Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea.
So who are you to say the Hispanics ain't Israelites? God says the number of Israel is like the sand of the sea. Do you know how many sand pebbles, when you take a pinch, just a pinch of sand, you can't even sit there and number every single pebble of sand. It's impossible. But God says his people are like the whole sand that covered the sea. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of children. Read on.
Which cannot be measured nor numbered.
Can't be numbered. Read.
And it shall come to pass
Uh-huh.
that in the place where it was said unto them,
A lot come to pass in the place where it was said, read,
ye are not my people.
what was we called niggas? Brothers? Where were we called niggers? Scream it out. Right here in America. Where was we called spicks, redskins, wetbacks? Right here in America. Read on.
There it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God.
Now understand, we are living prophecy. Right here, right now, we are preaching to the four corners of the world that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the children of God, are the Israelites according to the Bible. So maybe y'all still don't believe. Because we read a few scriptures and maybe y'all think that, you know, we just making this stuff up. Okay, we're going to find out. Give me the video. Give me the video real quick. We're going to go over a few videos. As y'all know, I like to pull videos because Israel is very visual. So we'll believe a video over a scripture. So we're going to pull off. It's called I Am Not Latina. What's her name again? Niken Tiaka. I forget her name. Talaka? What you say? Oh, I'm sorry. All right, so you're going to play the 4 minutes. Go ahead.
I am not Latina. Yo no soy Latina. Simply speaking, the Spanish language does not make me part of Europe. Speaking English doesn't make me part of Europe. These two languages have been forced on my people for the last 500 years. Whether you are from Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guatemala, a reservation in Arizona, Mexico City, you have been kept ignorant, subservient to European culture. We are victims of colonialism. A colonialism that began in 1492. We are not the children of Cortez. We are not the people that came on La Pinta, La Niña, La Santa Maria. We have nothing to do with Spain. We are the indigenous people of this continent who are falsely called Hispanic and Latino as a way to kill our indigenous identity and history. We are supposed to disappear like the wind. We are supposed to shatter like the damn ground that we walk on. We are supposed to be turning into ashes. We're not supposed to exist. This is not part of the game plan for the Europeans. And here we are, ignorant of who we are, dyeing our hair blonde, hating who we are, putting blue-green eye contacts, watching novelas of a bunch of bleach blonde women being served by full-blooded indigenous people. Spanish is being glamorized as the most exotic language, and we take pride in it as if it belonged to us. As if our people weren't killed to speak Spanish, like if our people weren't forced to speak Spanish, like if our people weren't raped for the last 5 centuries to exist as Spanish-speaking slaves of Europeans. Whether you speak English or Spanish, those languages are not us and they do not define us. You see, before we spoke English and Spanish, we were actually speaking languages that reflected us like Nahuatl, Yoemi, Quiche. We spoke languages that reflected who we were. We had languages, we had names that reflected who we were. We had a worldview that reflected on us, the reflection of the Creator. But these last 5 centuries of systematic ignorance and this education that only reinforces white supremacy has us confused, lost. But we are here. We are the survivors of the world's biggest genocide where 95% of our population was wiped out. And yet we have no idea. We have no clue. Our parents don't know. They have been working so hard in the fields. A lot of them didn't even finish preschool, middle school. But here we are, survivors, in our own right, in our own land, homeless on our own land. We are Nicantlaka. We are the indigenous people of this continent. We have been divided by false borders. We have been divided by false languages. We are working in the Mexica movement to create an establishment, this unity, the Watinsuyu Nation, Mexica movement, all the way from North and South America. This is our continent, separated by European borders. We walk ignorantly of who we are. We look down on the ground and don't even realize that it is ours.
All right, now we can go a whole class on that, but we're going to try to move on. Whoo! Y'all heard that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Get the next video, Native American Indian. Get the next video.
How can he be blamed for that? I mean, you don't think that anything he's doing is helping the situation? Is he an improvement over Stephen Harper? I mean, what talk about his record? Is it?
Excuse me, did I just hear you correctly? How can he be blamed for that?
No.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Right
Don't
now,
speak to
stop.
us that way.
Stop right now. You do not speak to us that way. We are human beings. And the way that you're speaking to us
It's
is
not
totally
acceptable.
wrong. You are not
No, stop it. Stop it right now.
If we don't want you here. Can you please leave?
Step out.
Step out.
Step out.
No.
Then I don't want to hear from you.
You have no right.
You don't speak to us like that.
Very simple question. Can I have an answer?
And this is the problem, the way you communicate.
I'm not insinuating anything. I'm looking for information.
I'm not going to argue with you.
I'm not arguing
you
either.
No,
right
stop.
now.
Stop.
I'm
You
not
need to
gonna
stop.
argue with
I'm only
You
asking
need to
you-
stop. Stop. Kipishi.
You don't do
Mona
that.
mona kandoy na mitin chamane na miyak. Asha weshkat katos chamane na minan kikis chakas ko hono e mane na miyak. Tapos coach e kain nuyak. E kwan e Hispanic. E kwan makamosha ko may tago siyak. Tapos coach e kikis chakakipat siyak. You're a guest here. And you don't even know how to speak to us. You don't even recognize the tone in your voice and your delivery. And no, you're done. You're done. Next question.
I'll re-ask Julie's question. How do you think?
You want to re-ask?
Yes. How do you think?
You better be respectful.
I'm being totally respectful. I'm asking how Justin Trudeau's record compared to Stephen Harper's record. Do you think he's improved the situation? I think that's what Julie was asking.
We have a holistic genocide happening here.
Don't speak on behalf of Julie.
Could you just answer the question,
I can
please?
speak for myself. I was asking.
And I can speak for myself. You know what, white people? You've had your voice here for 524 years. 524 years you've been visible, white lady. You've been visible for 524 years. Look how fast your white man comes and steps up for you. Where is everybody else to come and step up for us? I have a right to my voice. I'm still fighting for my voice and my visibility.
We asked the question.
And I'm telling you right now, there has been 524 years of holistic genocide on Turtle Island. We're the ones that are dying. It's not you that is dying. And as far as how Justin Trudeau is doing, one of the things that we need to keep in mind is we're asking the United Nations to help us that charges of genocide, a war against humanity, war crimes, and a crime of aggression be laid, because your Liberal Party was also responsible. Every party, every governance that has been in power, there's been a war conflict of Indian Residential School, 60 Scoop, Indian Day School, and Millennium Scoop. None of your governments have clean hands. All of your governments have blood on their hands. None of you are different. You haven't changed because you haven't started your healing journeys. The moment that we have our voice and our backbone, you want to shut us down. And you think you're privileged to disrespect us. The moment we tell you, because of your colonial mindset and your colonial way of being, your white privilege, your white fragility, you can't take our truth. Look how many people came to bat for you, white lady, and you're a guest here. Without us, you'd be homeless. This is over.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's go to the next video. Woo! Oh, not this one, not yet. Don't pull that one yet. Go to Trump Speaks. We're going to talk about Donald Trump right now, y'all.
In recent years and even decades, too many people have forgotten that truth. They've forgotten that our ancestors trounced an empire, tamed a continent, and triumphed over the worst evils in history.
Stop right there. Now, I'm going to repeat for y'all what he said. He said, a lot of people forget that our ancestors, he ain't talking about our ancestors, clearly. His ancestors tamed the continent, and trounced the empire, and triumphed over many evils. Who's he talking about, y'all? Talking about the indigenous people of the land, which in this case will be the northern kingdom of Israel. Play that back again.
Real quick, but he mentioned taming. What do you tame? So how does he look at our ancestors?
Yeah,
exactly.
That
ain't changed.
That ain't never changed right there. Go ahead.
Many people have forgotten that truth. They've forgotten that our ancestors trounced an empire, tamed a continent, and triumphed over the worst evils in history. In every generation, there have been cynics and critics who try to tear down America. It's not working too well lately. But in recent years, the problem grew worse. A growing number used their platforms to denigrate America's incredible heritage.
Stop. Y'all know who you're talking about, right? Talking about us.
That's the result of going to the nobles.
Talk about us. He said they use their platform to tear down good old white America. All right. So, all right, scratch that.
Real quick, officer,
Go ahead.
from that last video where that sister spoke up, that's the importance of knowing your history. That's the importance of knowing your history and being able to tie it in the scriptures. The captain brought out before about being professionals, because the scriptures say you got to be, this is your profession, this faith. You got to understand that your history is literally, it tops all other nations, because all nations derive from your history. You understand? There's people I went to work, I asked a sister, she claims to be a major Christian, right? One question. Do you know anything about your history? How you got to whatever island you come from? Why should I know my history? How do you believe the Bible if you don't know your history?
Yeah, they're being taught that they don't need to know their history.
Exactly.
Because once you inquire, like you read in Job, once you inquire about it, now it takes you back to the Bible.
Right.
Now you want to search the Bible. Now you want to read the Bible. Now you desire the wisdom of the Bible.
Exactly. Now you have to actually sit down, read, and now find out that there's things you must apply to your life to get that wisdom.
Yep. Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. So it's two sides of the same coin. This go out for all the people that have a doubt. You may even be Hispanic, Native American. You might have a little doubt in you. You may be African American, whatever, Haitian, Jamaican. You might have a little doubt that Hispanics are Israelites. This class for y'all. Because after this class, ain't going to be no more doubt, man. Ain't going to be no doubt, man. I tell you that right now. Deuteronomy 28:15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Who is Moses speaking to, brothers? The Israelites, right? Read on.
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses.
Can we look up curses? I know I didn't have that up there, but I got to bring it out. Never mind. Brothers, what is a curse? Who said that? James, right? You're right. You're absolutely right. Evil things. On the street, you say, hey, nigga, I curse you. You probably get into a fight. Right? It's an evil thing. God says that the nation of Israel was going to be cursed as a people. Not just one tribe, not just 3 tribes, not just 10 tribes. All 12 tribes was going to be cursed. Yeah, I can't see that. When y'all read that?
Hit control. Hit control.
Gotta fix my glasses, man. I got no money. Number 4? Yeah, a reload. You got it, Cap?
Curse. Go down.
Check.
Right there,
It's not expanded all the way. You don't have it expanded. There you go.
Curse. Definition of a curse. Verse 3.
Number 4, ain't it?
Number 4. Evil or misfortune.
There we go.
That comes as if in a response to imprecation or as retribution.
Retribution. Evil or misfortune that comes as if in response to retribution. You do this gonna happen to you.
Number 5, a cause of great harm or misfortune.
Torment. Torment. Read that again, verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
Come on.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses...
For not keeping God's commandments, all of these torments, read...
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Shall come upon thee and overtake thee. What does it mean to be overtaken by something? Brothers, what does that mean? What does it mean to be overtaken by something? Who said that? Stand up. What'd you say?
Brothers, raise your hands.
Yeah.
Conquered, sir.
Conquered, right? Give me another term. Give me another. What does it mean to be overtaken?
Killed.
Y'all ever seen the movie? What's that movie? The Mask with Jim Carrey.
Yep.
Y'all ever seen? Who's seen that movie, The Mask? Yeah, that's an old movie. That's why I said it. I wasn't gonna say Venom, but I don't think everybody ever seen Venom. The Mask, right? When Jim Carrey puts on that mask, what happens to him? You ever seen The Mask?
Yes, sir.
What happens to him?
He changes to a new person.
He becomes a whole different person.
Right.
He becomes overtaken. Because with that mask, I mean, it's a story behind there's actually a demon in it. Right. But the mask, the demon overtakes him, and he becomes a new person. God said these curses was going to overtake you, right? Shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Meaning that you weren't going to never get out of these curses. They was going to always be on you. That's mean to be overtaken by something. I mean, you cannot get out of. Right? Thank you. All praises. Read verse 30.
Deuteronomy.
Verse 30. Hey, shalom, Cap.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 30.
Come on.
Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein.
Come on.
Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes
This
thereof.
is a curse that will put upon the nation of Israel. Now remember, we read in Daniel 9. I want y'all to keep the thought. In Daniel 9 and 12, what does it say? Any brother remembers? Daniel 9 and 12. What does it say? Abel. Y'all remember? What was it? Some of
Yeah,
the...
that no nation will go through what we went through.
Right. Only the Israelites go through these curses. Right? Read verse 30 again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her.
So God says a curse that was going to come upon the Israelites, the northern kingdom, the Hispanics and Native Indians, was that they will betroth a wife, get married, and another man shall rape her, lie with her, right? Can we bring out the book? This is a book, The Devastation of the Indies, page 33.
I'm glad you said rape, because that ain't no like a voluntary thing. Your wife decided to go lay with another man because she was upset with you. Nah, that ain't what this talking about.
That was not optional. You got it, Lyle? Yes. Page 33, Devastation of the Indies.
Yes, sir.
This is a brief account of eyewitness. I gave it to Rela because he read from
the highlighted verse?
Yes, page 33, verse 30. Hold on, Elijah, put it on the screen so everybody can read along. So don't think we read from a tablet. Page 33. Is it?
Yes, sir.
All right, come on. Go ahead.
Then they behave with such temerity and shamelessness that the most powerful ruler of the islands had to see his own wife.
The what?
Had to see his own wife.
They took the most. Now these are the conquistadors and the Spaniards that came to the islands of Hispaniola, Mexico, Cuba, South America. This is what went on. Read that again.
Then they behaved with such temerity and shamelessness that the most powerful ruler,
read,
of the islands,
of all the islands,
had to see his own wife raped.
And they raped his wife in front of them.
By a Christian officer.
By what?
By a Christian officer.
By what?
By a Christian officer.
Right, that's facts right there. That's facts.
Real quick, because you mentioned how this is not a second-hand account. Bartolomeo de las Casas was one of the Christian friars who accompanied these conquistadors on their travels.
Because Christopher Columbus knew where he was going. He
Exactly.
didn't get lost. He knew where he was going. And one of the main things he wanted to do was find gold and convert them to Christianity.
Exactly.
That's why he had friar is just another word for a priest.
Right.
He had them on the boat with him because he was going to rob them of the gold and force Christianity on them.
Right. Which is one way to get them to submissively mine the gold and mine their minerals so that they can therefore give them to the conquistadors. This man, basically, when he seen all the atrocities, he saw it as just that, atrocities. And he wrote all of it down basically later on to say that these people that they're doing this to, or the things that they're doing to these people, are absolutely ungodly. And you notice how he mentions these are Christians that are doing that to him.
Hey, watch this though. Arila, I want you to go to the back cover of the book and read that last paragraph at the bottom. Read that. The back of the book. The total back. The back
Yes,
cover
sir.
of the book. Read that last paragraph.
The back cover, Destruction of the Indies. In the introduction, historian Bill M. Donovan provides a brief biography of Las Casas and reviews the controversy his work produced among Europeans, whose indignation and denials lasted centuries. But the book itself is short.
Come on.
Were I to describe all this, writes Las Casas of the 4 decades of suffering.
The what?
Of suffering.
The 4 decades. 40 years of suffering. Read.
He witnessed.
He what?
He witnessed.
He actually saw this thing happen. Eyewitness account of 40 years of atrocities. Go ahead.
No amount of time.
Read that again.
No amount of time and paper could accomplish this task.
He said, I couldn't even write everything I saw.
So he had to choose specific,
Right.
brief accounts of all the atrocities that he saw because it happened so much. It wasn't even
So
enough
much.
paper.
40 years. He says, there's no way I could write everything down on paper. That's why it says a brief account. Go to page 55. Man, we still going over one curse, y'all. This is one curse we're going over right now. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Page 55.
Destruction of the Indies, page 55. Since all the settlements of the Indians in this fertile land were situated in the midst of gardens and orchids, the Christians,
y'all. The Christians, go ahead.
Resided in them. Each Christian taking over the houses.
Taking over the what?
Taking over the houses.
Hold on now. Wait a minute. Let's go back to the verse. I want y'all to stay with me now. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 28:30. Read that again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 30.
Come on.
Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her.
We read that happened to our brothers. The greatest men that were forced to watch their wives raped. Read on.
Thou shalt build an house.
Thou shalt what?
Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein.
Now go back to devastation of the end. I want you to read that part again. Taking over.
Devastation of the Indies, page 55.
Come on.
Taking over the houses of the Indians.
The Christians took over the houses of the Indians. Read on.
Who had been allocated to him according to the royal grant known as the Ecomondia.
Yeah, I don't know what that say either. Encomendia.
In
Read on.
The Indian who had owned the house now worked for the Christian.
Read that again.
The Indian who had owned the house now worked for the Christian.
Read it again.
The Indian who had owned the house now worked for the Christian.
Come on.
As his servant.
As his slave. Slave, y'all. Read on.
Cooking his meals.
Cooking his meals.
Tilling the soil.
Tilling the sun.
Working without rest.
Working without. Dang, that sounds like something that Judah went through. Benjamin, Levi. Stuff that make it go, Makes you think, don't it? Goodness gracious. Get paid 73.
This is one of them reasons why they tell you leave the Old Testament alone. Because they understand that if you really dug into these curses in Deuteronomy 28 and then actually take the time to look up this history, you'll find out that it literally is parallel to what the Bible says. Exactly what the Bible says.
Exactly what the Bible prophesied this thing thousands and thousands of years ago. And here in 1492, 1518, it came to pass.
I bet you that ain't on the tablet.
Read that, page 73.
Page 73. The Spaniards broke up marriages.
Separating
husbands and wives. Robbed couples of their children.
Did what?
Robbed couples of their children.
Come on.
Took for themselves the wives and daughters of the people.
What do you think they was doing to the wives and the daughters of the indigenous people? It says took for themselves the wives and daughters of the people. Go on.
Or gave them to the sailors and soldiers as consolation.
As consolation, as comedy. Well, no, what's the word? No, I don't want that word. I want another word. What's the word? Comedy or commodity? There you go, right there. Commodity. I said comedy. Oh, racist. All right, go to verse 31. Deuteronomy 28, 31.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 31.
Come on.
Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face.
Stop right there. Go back to the devastation of the Indies and read page 32. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Not that. Get the video. Get the video. The buffalo video, real quick. Sorry about that. That's coming next. We got to speed it up a little bit. What time is it? Okay. All right, can we read that?
The Atlantic article.
Nah, just read it, bro.
Kill every buffalo you can. Every buffalo dead is an Indian gone.
Now, this is a statement that was made by the Europeans that Donald Trump claimed tamed a continent. This is what they said. Kill every buffalo you can. Every buffalo dead is an Indian gone. Yeah, that's crazy. Because through the buffalo came clothing, weapons, food, shelter. The buffalo was responsible for was very essential for a lot of things that our brothers needed on this side of the world. Read verse 31 again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 31. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes.
Ain't that not what they just say? Kill every buffalo you can. Every buffalo dead is an Indian gone. Now, I want y'all to answer this. Name me another nation who ox was slain before their eyes. Can't do it, huh? Yeah. Do we have Jeopardy music? Name me one nation that the most important animal that was responsible for life.
We don't need Jeopardy music, brother. We just play.
Oh, he's about to put it for real.
No,
huh?
don't pull it up.
All praises. All praise. The brother follow orders, though. All praises.
That's right.
Read verse 31 again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 31.
Come on.
Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face.
Stop. Go to the next article. Slaughter history.
Blow it up.
Is that it?
Yes, sir. Yellowstone, Buffalo slaughter history.
Yes. I
Yellowstone.
want you to read that right there, officer.
Yep.
Start at then and now.
Then and now, historians from the late 1800s offer us slightly varying numbers and accounts, but we can be confident in these tragic reports. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service estimates 30 million to 60 million bison live in North America when Europeans began arriving on the North American continent.
Before the Europeans got here, there were 30 to 60 million buffalo was living on this continent. Abundant. That means everywhere you look, you saw them. Read on. Watch this.
The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service estimates 30 million to 60 million bison lived in North America when Europeans began arriving on the North American continent.
Come on.
Due to massive and arguably mindless slaughter.
Due to what?
Due to massive and arguably mindless slaughter.
I mean, they were just killing to kill. But you know what they was doing? They was killing. Like we just read, every bison killed is one Indian gone. Go ahead.
By European settlers. By 1890, there were fewer than 1,000 buffalo in North America.
Do y'all understand what that means right there?
That's 10 years.
That's 10 years of them slaughtering buffalo. That's 10 years of them slaughtering buffalo. Watch this. Pull up that picture I just put on Sabbath class.
Yeah, I was about to say, they got pictures of them.
Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. It's coming up. It's coming up right there. Can you pull it up? Take it off the screen and pull it up. This is a real picture, y'all. This is a real picture of buffalo skulls. Look how high that hill is, man.
Come on, yo, what y'all doing?
That's one person at the bottom and a man standing on the top.
Can we read that scripture again, Officer Reline?
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 31.
Remember now, we going over curses that only happened to who? The Israelites. And God said in Daniel 9 and 12 that only the Israelites would go through what? Only the Israelites would go through what? These curses. Only the Israelites would deal with this.
You know, there's history that the U.S. cavalry would actually go around and send their men to basically, like it says, you kill the bison, you kill the Indian. They would literally let their men just go and kill as many as they possibly could.
They ran out of bullets.
So they ran out of bullets. And so that literally you starve out the Indians. That was the whole game plan behind that, was to starve out the Indians.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something they used to do also with the Native American Indians. They used to make coin sacks, like a purse, out of male Indian scrotums. Scrotum sack. They used to cut their stuff off and turn it into a coin purse.
Who's ever heard of scalping? We get taught that it's the Indians who started that. That was actually the so-called white man who started that stuff.
Dang, you done let the brother stand up and you give
sorry.
the answer?
I'm sorry. You wanted to expedite the class. You wanted to
gracious.
speed it up. So, but that's basically something that Esau started, and then in retaliation, that's what the Native Indians was doing when they hold on to the Edomites.
I'm glad you pull it up. We read it out of the Bible because a lot of us we don't know anything about history because this is not taught in the public school system. But you read it right here, thy ox shall be slain before thy eyes. You think about 5, 6, 10. They killed 10 buffalo, 10 ox, and then, that made us mad. But God is letting you know visually the level of what would happen to us for the breaking of the commandments, where it went from 30 to 60 million to less than 1,000 in 10 years. And this is what it looks like. Killing 59,990,000, whatever it might be, buffalo. That's what it looks like visually. A lot of us never seen these kind of pictures before.
Yeah, that's great. You know how much buffalo costs today? If you try to eat buffalo, you literally got to be like rich to eat bison. Bison burgers, $20. Yeah, man, that's because they gone. They about to go extinct. Where I'm at?
Verse 31.
Okay, go to verse 32.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32.
So what we reading, y'all, is real, man. This stuff happened. It happened to our brothers. Happened to us. You know.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So verse 32, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given into another people. What does that sound like, brothers? What does that sound like? Slavery. Can we go to devastation of the enemies again, please? Page 32. Page 32. This happened to us, but don't nobody want to talk about it. If blacks are the only Israelites, then that means Hispanics and Native Indians shouldn't fit the curses at all. I shouldn't be able to go precept upon precept and prove that Hispanics and Native Indians are Israel. I should be able to do it if they wasn't Israelites.
If they wasn't Israelites, it'd be like trying to say the Chinese people are the 12 tribes of Israel. Look, let's read Deuteronomy 28.
Right.
And then you start reading, and you be like, nah, they don't fit them.
They don't fit that.
That don't fit them either. Nah,
Same
don't
thing
fit
with
'em either.
Amalek.
Oppressed always? Nah, they don't fit them either because they in our hoods slapping black women for weave.
Right.
Yeah, they don't fit them. That's what it
Right.
should be like.
Right, for real. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got to understand. That's why I'm going to say prove all things. You got to prove all things. If you saying they ain't, well, hell, we got 1,000 scriptures and books to prove that they are. Read that.
The devastation of the Indies, page 32, Hispaniola. On an island Hispaniola was where the Spaniards first landed. As I have said,
What is Hispaniola, brothers, today? What is that? Where is that? Stand up, raise your hand. Don't call out, brothers. Stay disciplined. Whoever called out, raise your hand so I can call on you. Goodness gracious. Brothers that call out, but they don't want to raise their head and say it even though it's the right answer. Abel, I see you, brother. What's the island of Hispaniola today?
Dominican Republic.
And what?
And Haiti.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, boy, you better not, boy. You almost got stoned in here. hey, you can hear a pin drop when you get that mic back. Boy, hey, Abel, you better be careful, bro. The most I just spared your life. read that, Realize.
on the island Hispaniola was where the Spaniards first landed, as I have said. Here, those Christians.
Those what?
Those Christians.
Dang, why we keep reading about Christians doing atrocities to the indigenous people?
Christianity is the bloodiest religion on the earth.
Yeah, even more than Islam. The bloodiest religion, the worst one.
Because Christians still killing people.
Yep. Read, go ahead.
Here, those Christians perpetrated their first ravages.
Their first ravages, read.
And oppressions.
And what?
And oppressions.
And oppressions, come on.
Against the native people.
Read.
This was the first land in the New World to be destroyed.
To be what?
To be destroyed.
To be destroyed. It didn't say nothing else. It said this land was destroyed and depopulated. Go ahead.
And depopulated by the Christians.
By the Christians. You got to understand when people say, Christians against Israelites, that makes no sense. Name one Israelite group that went to another country and slaughtered people by the millions, depopulated the earth. Name one.
Because when they came to
No, hold on,
these-
wait a minute.
Okay.
I'm waiting for somebody to name one. No?
I'll wait.
Okay. That's a question you got to ask. You got to ask your pastor.
Right.
You got to ask TD Jakes.
There you go. Challenge your pastors to find out when any of these Israelites that we supposed to be going against, when did they ever do what we're reading in these history books? When did they ever do that?
Never.
I'll wait.
Go ahead.
Real quick, though. When these people came to these islands, every one of those islands were sprawling. They were filled with people.
Mm-hmm.
They had major cities in these places that they found them. Major cities. When you read this book, it tells you that by the time that they left, they were down to like thousands.
Yep. Hey, we read last night. What was it, last night or Thursday? Natives Hour. About Mexico. The cities of Mexico had more. The population of Mexico of this time was greater than like 6 cities in Spain or in Europe. All combined, they were more populated in Mexico, yeah, than the largest cities in Spain. Go ahead.
And here they began their subjection of the women and children.
The what?
Of the women and children.
They began their what?
Their subjection of the women and children.
Of the women and children. All right, go to the next one. Indian child welfare act. We're going to speed it up, Rely. I think it's the history. Yeah, read the history. There you go.
ICWA.
Speed it up, Rely.
ICWA was enacted. Hold on. ICWA was enacted in 1978 because of the disproportionately high rate of forced removal of Indian children from their traditional homes.
Forced removal of Indian children in their traditional homes, read.
And essentially from American Indian cultures as a whole.
So the Indians' children were forcibly removed from their homes. Read on.
Before enactment, as many as 25 to 35% of all Indian children were being forcibly removed, mostly from intact American Indian families, and placed in non-Indian homes.
Read on.
With the deliberate absence of American Indian culture.
So the children was forcibly removed out of their homes. That was a law. That was a law. It was legal for them to come into a so-called Native American home and steal the children. Right, and they would take them to boarding schools and say, kill the Indian, save the man. Go back to the curse, Deuteronomy 28, real quick.
Deuteronomy. Chapter 28, verse 32.
Come on.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Did we not just read that? Thy sons and thy daughters were forcibly removed and put in boarding schools. And when you read on, we got time, but we read on, a lot of those kids didn't make it out because they were put to death for speaking a Native American tongue, for calling themselves, what they call themselves, Little Rock, Blackfoot. They were put to death. Read on.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hand.
No might in thy hand. We would have no might to go and get our kids back. No might at all. It was legal for them to come steal our kids. We ain't have no might in that. All right, we're going to have to speed up real quick. Go to Lamentations 5 and 1. We're going to have to skip some stuff.
Lamentations chapter 5 and verse 1.
Come on.
Remember, O Lord, what is come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach. Our inheritance is turned to strangers.
God says our inheritance, the Israelites' inheritance is turned to strangers. That's why in America today, they call Hispanics what? What do they call Hispanics, Hosea?
Illegal aliens.
Illegal aliens. When we were here first, this is our land given to us by God. But the white men say, oh, these are illegal aliens. Read on.
Our houses to aliens.
Our houses to who?
To aliens.
Who are the aliens that took our houses? Stand up. Who are the aliens? I want to be specific right here. Who's the aliens specifically?
The so-called white man.
The white man. God says that they are the illegal aliens. We not the illegal aliens. They are. Read on.
We are orphans and fatherless.
We orphans. We don't know who our father, mother is. We don't know who we are. We have no possessions. Read.
Our mothers are as widows.
Come on.
We have drunken our water for money.
We have drunken our water for money. We are literally buying our own food. Things that originally belonged to us, now we got to pay for.
That's why, as sister in that first video said, we are homeless in our homeland.
In our homeland. We don't understand that the dirt, the ground we walk on belongs to us. But we got to pay for it. Read on.
Esau stole it fair and square.
Right. Read on.
Our wood is sold unto us.
Our wood is sold unto us. All this stuff belonged to us. Now we got to pay for it. What verse you at?
Verse 5.
All right. Go to verse 68. We're going to get right to the point. Deuteronomy 28:68. Okay. Now, I got a question. Northern Kingdom, raise your hand. Isaac.
It was more.
Isaac. Were the Hispanics and Native Indians sold on slave ships? Shalom.
Yes, sir.
They were.
They actually were.
Here's the other question now for Northern Kingdom. Is that taught to you in your school
break it down.
systems.
No, sir. Not at all. They say I'm gonna be real now. They said them niggas was on slave ships. Y'all are Spaniards. Y'all are what they call them? Mestizos. That's it right?
Mestizos.
Yes.
Mestizos.
That's what they say. Y'all are mutts. Y'all are that's what it means. Y'all are interbred with the Spains and the conquistadors that came to this
They
land.
say we have African blood in us, Spanish blood, and European blood, which makes us a whole new race now.
Hey, this sister said something real heavy. Remember the last time? She said something real heavy. For my Hispanic and Native American brothers that are light-skinned and that love, and even sisters, that love they light skin. She said something real heavy. She said, you are glorifying in the rape of your ancestors.
Glorifying the rapist.
The rapist. Because that's how you got there. When you read Hosea 7 and 8, and we're going to read that. Ephraim had mixed himself among the nations. Ephraim is a cake not turned. I mean, you got some light skin, you got some dark skin. Right, before that, everybody was dark before that. It's right here, Cap. Everybody was dark. Hell, you look at me, what tribe y'all think I'm from? Judah. Everybody said Judah. Lock him, you don't count, bro. Who said Levi? Nah, bro. I would love to be Levi, okay? I'm just happy I'm Israel. I'm just joking. Disclaimer, I'm just joking. You got to edit that out. Don't put that on there.
Hey, I'm going to send a picture to you. Go ahead, I'm going to send a picture.
So you know, what I was saying. So I'm from the tribe of Gad. I will be a part of the Northern Kingdom. Me and Hosea was on the same island, on the same continent, getting it in. Killing buffalo. Same thing. You see what I'm saying? God don't deal with that, man. But she said something heavy. She said for the brothers and sisters that love, that basically look at the darker skinned Hispanics and Native Indians as lesser of a people, you are actually glorifying the rapist. You are glorifying the rapists of your ancestors. That's how you got light skin. All right, well, maybe that's a little too heavy for y'all. Read verse 68, bro.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68.
Come on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Egypt means what, brothers? We all know this history. But when we read verse 68, we don't put Hispanics to verse 68. We don't put Native Americans to verse 68. We leave verse 6. Okay, most of us, if we teach in Northern Kingdom, we don't even read verse 68. Ain't no point, because they can't relate to it. We're going to read it today. Read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Come on.
With ships.
With ships. God says that the Israelites were going to slavery on slave ships. It's over there, Cap. It's over. Yeah. I put it over there. Can we get Devastation of the Indies, page 80, please? Page 80. Page 80. I want you to read that right there.
All right. Devastation of the Indies, page 80.
Come on.
And the Spaniards assembled all the Indians they had allowed to survive and sent them
Oh, you got to understand what he said. They allowed some of them to survive. Read on.
And sent them away on the many ships.
On what?
On the many ships.
On many ships.
That came.
Read on.
Attracted by the smell of slaves. They would be traded for wine and vinegar.
Stop right there. Read that again, please. Read that again.
Attracted.
This for everybody that say Hispanics never went on slave ships. Native Americans never went on slave ships. Read that again.
And sent them away on the many ships.
On slave ships. It'll tell you they were slaves. Read.
That came. Attracted by the smell of slaves.
By the what?
By the smell of slaves.
It was slaves on slave ships. They wasn't on no doggone cruise ships. They were slaves. Read on.
They will be traded for wine and vinegar.
That sounds like an auction block right there when you read in Joel. Read on.
And pigs and clothing.
They will trade for pigs. We was less than pigs. Read.
and clothing, and for horses, or anything else needed by the tyrant and his followers,
Read on.
or what they deemed necessary. And the Spaniards were allowed to choose among 150 Indian maidens the ones they liked best.
Read that again.
And the Spaniards were allowed to choose among 150 50 Indian maidens
Come on.
the ones they liked best.
Come on.
Paying for each one.
Doing what?
Paying
buying off of auction blocks. Read.
For each one an aroma of wine or oil, or vinegar, or pigs, and the same for a comely boy chosen from among 100 or 200.
Slave ships, auction blocks, sold as slaves. Read verse 68 again, please.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse
This
68.
Bible don't lie, man. Remember, we read it, Sirach 39. He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences. The secrets have been revealed today. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Into bondage, into slavery again, read.
With ships.
On slave ships, like we just read. Come on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again.
You should not see your homeland again. Read.
And there.
And there.
Ye shall be sold.
Shall be what?
Ye shall be sold.
Did it not just say that they were bought, paying for each one an array of wine or oil? They were bought. Read on.
Unto your enemies.
Unto your who?
Unto your enemies.
Who was the enemies in this book, y'all? Say it again, Officer Tobias. Christians. I know that's heavy for y'all right there. Oh, yeah. I'm glad he said it, because that's what I was looking for. Christians. The same people that bought us off those slave ships were Christians. The same people that came and murdered us by the millions were Christians. Are we going to read some more about these Christians?
The same ones who are trying to debunk this book to say that we're not these people
are Christians. Now, who in their right mind would believe anybody that's capable of doing those types of things? Who in their right mind would even look to a man of and say that's a man of God when they're capable of doing these types of things? Okay, let's prove that. Give me 1 Thessalonians 5:21. We almost done. 1 Thessalonians 5:21. I want you to read quick now, Rila.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21.
Come on.
Prove all things.
What does God say?
Prove all things.
We proven that the Hispanics and Native Indians are Israelites.
Hey, officer,
You prove they're not.
Officer, is that in the New Testament?
That's in the New Testament. That's in the New Covenant. Read it again, brother. Read it again.
Prove all things.
God said prove all things. We doing it. We doing it right now. We proving that our brothers are Israelites. That's what we proving. Go ahead.
Hold fast that which is good.
Come on.
Abstain from.
That's it. That's it. Get 2 Ezra 13 and 40. Get 2 Ezra 13 and 40.
Second Ezra.
Some people say, oh, well, you know, what they say they came through the Bering Strait, Asians, and they, okay. Hey, here's my question. Here's my question, Cap. If they Asians, how come China never claimed them? If they Asians, how come China never came back and got them? How come China ain't going to war for them? Hell, Japan did. Japan said, you got to free those Japanese people. What was that, World War II?
Yep.
World War II, Japan said, you got to let my people go. How come the Chinese didn't do that?
How come their traditions and their customs have no kind of parallels?
None at all.
To the Chinese.
To the Chinese tradition.
So you mean over here they wasn't celebrating the year of the dragon?
No.
Nope. They wasn't doing that.
Nope.
They showed they wouldn't
Year
eat
the
noodles.
monkey. Right.
They
Year
wouldn't
the monkey.
eat. They wouldn't eat with chopsticks. They weren't doing that stuff. They were celebrating Feast of Tabernacles, Passover, wearing fringes. They was doing that. What you got, Soldiers of Doc? What you got?
And you know what the crazy thing is? After World War II, you know, once they released the so-called Japanese, they were so afraid of a war. You know what they sent them home with?
Money.
Money. Reparations.
Reparations. Ain't that something, though? It was millions of, let's just say they were Asians. It was over 80 million of them just on this continent alone. Over 80 million. And then when it got down to just a few 100,000, the Chinese didn't feel like that was something wrong with that. They let it go. Okay. Whoo! Stuff that make it go. Read that. 2 Ezra 13:40.
2 Ezra chapter 13, verse 40.
Come on.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners.
Can we get the definition of y'all know what I want. Y'all know what I want the definition of. Get that definition, Lyle. Take that off the screen and get it. All right, go ahead, Rely.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters.
This was during the year 529 BC. Write this down, y'all. 529 BC, before Christ. Come on.
And so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves.
They came amongst themselves.
That they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Well, what?
Where never mankind dwelt.
What do they call this side of the land, brothers? What do they call this place? The what? Who said it? Go ahead, James. Stand up. Remember, we read it in the book. What did Columbus call this place? They didn't call it India. What did he call it?
He called it the New World.
The New World. The New World, where they thought mankind was never here. Talking about us. We knew mankind wasn't here. Columbus knew we was here. But they call it the New World. I mean, I'm for to kill all y'all. All praise. Good job, James. Go ahead.
That they might dare keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
So that we can keep the commandments of the Lord that we never kept. Come on.
And they enter into Euphrates.
Do what?
And they enter into Euphrates.
God even lets us know how we got here. Through the Euphrates, come on.
By the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood.
Pull up a map. Pull up a map of the earth. Go ahead.
Till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go. Namely, of a year and a half.
A year and a half.
And the same region is called Osiris.
Osiris. Can we look up that word? Somebody read that.
Blow it up, man. Blow it up. You got to zoom out some.
Osiris.
Jewish encyclopedia.
Now, I want y'all to understand, this is a Jewish encyclopedia.
Right. So there was no Hispanic, no Puerto Rican, no African American.
Right. We didn't write this.
Right. Because we Jews. We ain't Jewish.
Right.
There you go. So it wasn't us that made this.
Jewish encyclopedia. Who is Jewish, y'all? Come on, make it plain.
Yeah, man. The
deep. White people.
White people, do you?
Amalek.
Does somebody know who that is?
That brother's deep, man. Jewish is the white man. Tell you that right now. So they wrote this. We didn't write this. So you got to ask yourself, if you a Christian in Christianity, you don't want to hear what the black Hebrew Israelites say. Listen to Massa. Read it.
The Jewish encyclopedia, Osiris, the name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes.
And what's the where?
In which the 10 tribes.
The 10 tribes, the Hispanics and Native Indians, read.
Of Israel will dwell.
Come on.
Observing the law of Moses until the time of restoration, according to 2 Ezra.
Come on.
13:40. Columbus identified.
Hold on. You can't skim over that part, Rely. Read that part again.
Columbus identified America.
Who?
America.
Who?
America. With this land.
So he knew he was here. He knew he was there.
Man, you know the whole man, it's crazy the levels of deception that they have done to keep us down as a people. This is in the Jewish encyclopedia.
Right, that's in their book.
Everybody that is in our homeland right now has access to this information. They know this right here, but they have not came and gotten the 10 tribes.
There you go, Cap.
They know exactly where the 10 tribes are. If they were their people, how come they have not mustered up and told Big Satan, which is America, because over there is little Satan, they ain't told them, hey, put them on boats, put them on planes, bring them back over here, because those are the rest of the lost tribes that we've been looking for. Look, we've got it written down in our history annals. Because they say right now, they say that only in Jerusalem now are the Jews. Is the tribe of Judah.
Tribe of Judah. And
that's
Levi,
the only
they say,
one.
too. They say
Levi's over
Levi,
there now
too.
too.
3 now? Oh, okay.
Oh,
so
that's
only
okay.
Judah.
So if they've got all 3 of them over there,
Right.
and your history annals tell
Tells
you
where
where
the
the
rest of
other 10 are, how come they have not came and get? You know why? Because if they come and pick them up, guess who else is gonna be like, hold on, ho, wait a minute now. You saying that these are the scattered people that are talking about in the Bible? Let me see and make sure. Oh, it says they were slave ships and taking kids went there.
Right, bring it.
Hold on,
The
dude.
dots.
Hold on, you ain't leaving without me.
Not only wait,
You ain't leaving without us. No,
even
bro,
that.
that's the same thing happened to us.
Not even just that. But wait a minute. That didn't happen to y'all.
Oh yeah. They come over here and get stuck.
Right.
A real
Hey,
hood,
real talk.
real hood
Right,
Judah,
right.
Benjamin,
Right.
and Levi that
Right.
ain't been converted yet. Taking boats from
That's
them.
right. You got to go.
But that's why they ain't came and got them, because if they come get them, they know that the other ones is going to be like, hold on. That happened to us too. Something ain't right here. So they'll rather just ignore it and say, we can't find them.
Right.
But it's in your own history at
In your own history.
JewishEncyclopedia.com by Morris Jastrow Jr. and Kaufman Kohler. That's they people. But
Let y'all know, man, the historians know that the Hispanics and Native Americans are Israelites. They know that thing. Hold on, we're going to prove it more. We ain't got time. We get Trail of Tears. Trail of Tears. Nah, we ain't got time to read that. What's that? Lost Tribes, Promised Land? Yeah, I got that too. Yeah, I got all that. Trail of Tears, real quick.
Which page?
Page 1.
Trail of Tears, page 1.
Come on.
Investigations were made in the 17th and 18th centuries to determine whether the American Indians were the lost tribes of Judah. And it was pretty well proved both yes and no.
So it was this man, he came over here, he studied the Native American Indians, and he came to a conclusion that they are from the tribe of Israel, from one of the tribes of Israel. He thought it was Judah, but like it said, it came to conclusion both yes and no. They not Judah, but they are Israelites. Read on.
And unprovable either way.
So see, and it's unprovable that they were from the tribe of Judah. Read on.
Which made it an excellent topic for study and exploitation, one populated by warm bodies and distinct faces and beautiful, waiting children. James Adair, an Irish trader who lived among the Cherokees.
James Adair, an Irish trader who lived among the Cherokees for 40 years, read.
Decided the Indians were indeed one of the lost tribes and wrote 70,000 words on the subject at a time. When printed words were dear, he used as evidence.
So James Adair wrote so many words during that time, it was remarkable on how many words he wrote to prove that the Indians were actually Israelites. Read on.
He used as evidence such topics as their division into tribes.
The division into tribes, he used that to prove they're Israelites.
Their language.
Their language. What language you think they were speaking for him to prove they were Israelites? Hebrew. Read.
And dialect.
Dialect. Come on.
Their festivals.
Festivals, feast days.
Feasts
Come
and religious rites.
Uh-huh.
Their absolutions and anointings.
Come on.
Their laws of uncleanness, their avoidance of unclean things.
Read.
Their practices of marriage, divorce, and punishment for adultery. Their ornaments.
What y'all think the ornaments was talking about? Not you, Zadak. I know you know. What's your name, brother? Stand up. What's your name? Yes, you.
Brother Maurice, the commandments.
Okay. Yep. The ornaments. Zadak, give it to us, because we ain't got time. So Zadak, what was the ornaments?
The ornaments was going into the fringes.
The fringes. Even today, when you see powwows, what do Native Americans have on? Fringes. They Israelites, y'all. Dang, man, we ain't got time. What time? How much time we got, Cap? Cap Severus, how long your class is, Cap? Woo! It's so much proof. Goodness gracious. Go to Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. Page 364. Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. Come on. You got to read quick, Rely.
Lost Tribes and Promised.
Page 364. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me read this because y'all going to read it. in Yiddish. Even though I got broken Hebrew, I know a little bit of something. All right, it says, waving a banner high in the air, the Indian guide soon was greeted by a puff of smoke far beyond the other bank of the river. In response to his signal, the two men waited. Eventually, a canoe appeared bearing 3 men and a woman.
A canoe appeared bearing 3 men, Indian women and men. Read.
All of them Indians, to the place where Francisco and Montezinos were standing at the water's edge. The woman got off and spoke to Francisco in an Indian tongue that Montezinos could not understand.
Read on.
Although he could perceive that he was being identified in the conversation, she then turned to her male companions to explain the situation. Upon hearing her words, they rose and went over to Montezinos, and to his utter astonishment, said,
So now, this is what the Indians said to Montezinos.
Montezinos was an Italian Spaniard. He was a Spaniard that had came over. And what was the other one's note? Francisco. Francisco is the Indian that they have taught their language.
What is it? A navigator, right?
The navigator. He taught their language, okay? So he's the guide, right? It says, to explain, so upon hearing her words, they rose and went over to Montezinos, and to his utter astonishment said, Shema Yasha Allah, Allah Hanawa Yahweh Akkad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. They had recited in Hebrew.
In what?
In Hebrew, the fundamental credo of Judaism.
So this is my question. Who taught them Judaism?
No, that's a good point, because this is a land where never mankind dwelt. They had no contact with anybody else outside of their own tribes.
So who taught them Judaism?
And this is before the Bible was brought to this side,
way
right?
before. This is before.
Because this was around the 1400s, right? The King James that we know of was 1600. That's what they was using. That's what Christopher Columbus had when he brought. So it says, Shema Yasha Allah, Allah Hanawa Yahweh Akkad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
Go down to the next highlighted part.
It says, they told him.
Now the Indians told Montezinos themselves, read.
That they were themselves of the tribe of Reuben.
Stop. How they know who Reuben is?
There's no Bible, right?
There's no Bible. So that means that history had to have been what? Passed down.
So wait, it didn't come through the Bering Strait?
No.
It says they told him that they were themselves of the tribe of Reuben.
Come on.
And that the tribe of Joseph.
That the tribe of Joseph, Ephraim, Manasseh,
lived on an island nearby.
What was that island? Zadok. What was that island? Zadok. Scream it loud.
He's up front. Where you at?
Hispaniola in Cuba.
Yeah. Borican.
Go to page 365. We got one more for you, Cap. 365.
Page 365.
No. We're going to let Cap read it.
Need some new highlighters on that thing.
Yeah, for real. Can you see that? That look blurry to me.
It said, the God of these children.
Ooh, you good.
All right. I got 4 eyes. The God of these children of Israel.
Now, who is this talking? This is Montezinos talking. Who is this talking?
These are like the friars, like they're wise men, they're soothsayers and stuff, are talking about these people. They're going to consult them. It says, the God of these children of Israel is the true God.
They said the God of these children of Israel is the true God. Come on.
They had said, and everything inscribed on their tablets.
On their what?
On their tablets.
Yeah, they talk about no iPads, y'all. On their tablets, come on.
Is true. At the end of days, they will be lords of all the nations of the earth.
Wait a minute. This was known hundreds and hundreds of years ago that the nation of Israel would rule the world.
That's why this book was over $1,500 at one point. This book right here.
Go ahead.
It says, one nation will come bringing many things to this land.
What was those many things? Anybody know what those many things were? Who knows? Zadok, you know? Stand up. Do you know what those many things were?
Would it be technology?
No. Sirach.
It's talking about when Southern Kingdom.
Right. Talk about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Go ahead.
One nation will come bringing many things to this land.
Uh-huh.
And after we have all been provided for.
After they have been provided for, when their time is up, when their sins have reached the heavens, come on.
These children of Israel.
These children of Israel
will go forth from where they now are and reign over the whole earth as they once did.
Woo! Goodness gracious. Y'all understand what this is being said? This is being said on this side of the world.
Hosea 1 and 10.
Think about that. Think about that, y'all. This ain't been said in Jerusalem. This ain't been said in Africa. This ain't been said over there. This has been said right here. They knew, the people of Israel, were these Hispanics and Native Americans. They knew that. Give me the video. Give me the video. I got 2 books, but I ain't going to bring them out. Give me the video, 10 Commandments written in Paleo-Hebrew in Mexico. Play that thing.
Begins, La, at the beginning, La. That dot exists between them. But he started,
This
he
is
did
a
this.
stone.
He
What
wrote
is a stone
this
called? I
line.
forget what it's called. It's the
writer
two
wrote
up-
this
I'm
line.
about to say it.
He wrote the top line,
It's a big
I am the
behind
Lord
stone.
your God that brought you out of territory of limits and a house of bondage. Bondage is, plural, of Abed, servant.
What that sound like, y'all?
Abed,
Stop.
servant.
What that sound like, y'all? Deuteronomy 28. Or Deuteronomy 5 and 6.
It's in Mexico?
That's in Mexico.
Territorial
That's in
limits.
Mexico, y'all.
That's the bondage. That's Egypt.
Stop. All right, so hold on. Go to the next video. Hold on. Wait a minute. Go to the next video.
I got to do it, Cap.
What's
Y'all
up?
all right?
Yeah, I pray y'all all right. I pray my Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters understand that this is MO. This is the secrets of God being revealed. Go to the book. Now, I'm going to save that for last. I love that video. Go to the book, The Taínos. The Taínos, page 36. Read that. It's real short. Just read the highlighted part.
The Taínos. Page 36.
Yep.
Columbus sent one of his Lucayan guides, a local Taíno, and 2 of his seamen to call upon the emperor with the letter from the Spanish sovereigns.
Zoom in more. Come on.
In hopes of communicating with the Khan, the admiral had chosen to head the delegation of men of Jewish birth who spoke Hebrew.
Who did what?
Who spoke Hebrew.
Let me read that again. It said, Columbus sent one of his Lucayan guides, a local Taíno, and 2 of his seamen to call upon the emperor with a letter from the Spanish sovereigns in hopes of communicating with the Khan, the king. The admiral had chosen, that's Columbus, had chosen to head the delegation a man of Jewish birth who spoke Hebrew.
Why would Columbus send a Hebrew-speaking guide, a Hebrew translator, to a Taíno king? Think about that. Why? Because the people of the land spoke Hebrew. Israelites. What's up, Sirach? Soldier Sirach.
I was going to say that same history is in Lost Tribes and Promised Lands on page 96, and it tells you his name and that he was an Israelite. And it
All
tells you that he
praises.
spoke those same 3 languages.
All praises. All right, now give me the video. Now give me that video. You know what I want.
In 1860, David Wyrick, he's a guy who surveyed the Newark earthworks. He was digging into a mound near those earthworks, and he found a wooden coffin made of oak. They opened up the coffin and found a skeleton of a man holding a little box that was about 8.10 inches in size. The box had been cemented shut here. This, by the way, is sitting in Ohio. Well, he opened up the box and he found a little man inside, a little black stone. They took it to scholars and they looked at it. The man seems to be carrying something, and there's writing here at first they couldn't recognize. The writing is, they thought in 1860, some sort of Hebrew. Well, finally, about 20 years later, they found some rabbis living in the area, and the rabbis looked at that, and they could read it. They said it was an old kind of block Hebrew, and it was a rendition of the 10 Commandments. Now, this is another piece. Block Hebrew. They said they'd never seen anything like it.
Stop, real quick, real quick. Y'all know this is Fox News, right? Okay, go ahead.
Mainstream archaeologists at the time called this a hoax. But then in 1900, or just about after 1900, in Israel, they found the same block-style Hebrew writing. Mainstream archaeologists still dismiss the findings. They found it in Israel, and they found it in Ohio. But there was another stone that they found that they couldn't argue. This is the Bat Creek stone. It was found during the course of an official Smithsonian evacuation. The Smithsonian didn't understand the meaning of the writing on the stone. They thought it was Cherokee, since it came from Cherokee country. They didn't realize that it's actually Hebrew. They had published this originally upside down. They threw it in a box at the bottom of the Smithsonian, put it in the basement. Many years later, a scholar took it out of the box, looked at it, and went, oh my gosh, it's upside down. It's Phoenician, ancient Hebrew. So what's going on here?
Right.
What is that about?
What the hell is going on here?
Where is that history?
Brought here by Hebrew people in
That's
search.
it. All right, y'all. Give me Ezekiel 37.
That's for some of you who still had a little bit of doubt.
Give me Ezekiel chapter 37.
You know, some people just don't believe it unless the white man says it.
Yeah,
So
yeah. That's why you know what we went to? The white man. We went to the white man to prove it.
You went to a Christian.
Christian. Hey! Went to a Christian, y'all. I want y'all to pay attention, man. This Bible's a true book. Ezekiel 37:15.
Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 15. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it, for Judah and for the children of Israel his companions. Then
So
take
you got Judah and his companions. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Read.
Then take another stick.
Another stick.
And write upon it, for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim.
So you got the Hispanics and Native Indians. Read.
And for all the house of Israel, his companions.
Watch this.
And join them join them one to another into one stick.
Join them into one stick. Read.
And they shall become one in thine hand.
Watch this. Go ahead.
And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, Wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim.
The stick of Joseph, which is the Native Americans and Spanish. Come on.
And the tribes of Israel, his fellows. And will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah.
What?
Even with the stick.
What is that stick, y'all? Today, what is that stick? Who knows? Who is that? La Wahhabia. What is that stick?
Shalom leadership.
Shalom.
It's the Bible.
No. John, what you got?
Shalom. It's the 12 tribes chart.
There you go, right there. That's the stick.
And I want you to understand that this is how you know the Bible's a true book. Peter, Paul, and John and them was not walking around with two sticks in their hands joined together, showing the scattered Israelites in Galatia. Look, these is your brother. They wasn't doing that. This is written thousands of years ago. Ezekiel prophesying for 2018. What you would do in 2018, you would take the northern kingdom, Joseph, which said, what the book said, it said, we are Reuben. We the tribe of Reuben, and our brother Joseph is on a nearby island. The Bible just said, take Joseph and his companions, the other 12, take them with Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and put them together, and your people are going to ask you, why you got blacks and Hispanics on here? That's for today.
Yep. Read that again.
Say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribe of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah.
The stick, come on.
Of Judah, and make them one stick.
One stick.
And they shall be one in my hand.
And read on.
And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thy hand before their eyes.
The what?
Before their eyes.
That's a 12 tribe chart. That's the 12 tribe right there.
So
Before
for
their eyes.
anybody that says that the 12 tribe chart is false, you'd have to prove Ezekiel
You gotta
37
prove
wrong.
it. Absolutely.
Who are the 12 tribes then
There
that
you
fit
go.
these curses? Okay,
There
if
you
you want
go.
to say that that all 12 tribes are black people,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's what you want to say. They dark-skinned people. Well, a lot of them attest like they in Africa. Well, go to Africa,
Mm-hmm.
and you line up Deuteronomy 28
Right.
with Ephraim, with Simeon, with Manasseh over there. You find them and tell me who that fits over there.
Right. Please do.
Oh yeah, a remnant of them are over there, but you ain't gonna be able to pinpoint it
Right.
like you can right here,
here.
in the land where it was said they are not his people.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
You're doing it right here.
Absolutely. Read verse 22.
Verse 22. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all.
Who's the king, y'all? Christ. Read.
And they shall be no more two nations.
And there shall what?
And they shall be no more two
There
nations.
shall be no more two nations. Read on.
Neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all.
No longer are we divided, y'all. We know who we are. That's right. We know who our brothers are. We know who our sisters are.
Now they will see the true men of God. We are not black men, we are the Israelites. That's right. Take care of us. And our children too. We have repented. How are you? People want to know who's the king.
Oh, nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father. Oh, nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father.
Now why they trying to make it so hard to serve God? And why when I say that I'm a Jew it sound odd? For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcast, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.